I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein, and today I'm giving you some of my best recipes for that most civilized of all meals, brunch. I'll be making a classic Niçoise salad with my twists, a savory breakfast strata, and my lemon ricotta pancakes. So don't go anywhere. I'm inviting you to brunch today on SoFlo Taste. No RSVP needed. How fun is that? Happy New Year, Taste Buds. Welcome to SoFlo Taste here in the Goya Kitchen at JA World in Coconut Creek. And thank you for joining me today after what might have been a night of over-celebrating and merriment for you. You're in time for brunch, a meal that makes your sleeping in late acceptable. I've got some great brunch recipes for you today, so let's get cooking. The first one is going to be my lemon ricotta pancakes, and they are dreamy. I've got ricotta and sour cream in this bowl. We're going to add some vanilla, 3 eggs, and let's go ahead and mix that up. I have the whites of those 3 eggs right here, which I whisked up until they were good and stiff. Now you really want to work this. You don't want to see many pockets of the ricotta that haven't been mixed in well. Next we're going to do the dry. We've got AP flour, or you can use gluten-free flour. We've got some baking soda, a little bit of sugar, and a pinch of salt. Let's go ahead and combine that. For my lemon ricotta pancakes today, I've decided to have a little fun and make my own toppings. So I have a lemon maple syrup here. This is a cup of maple syrup with the juice of a lemon and just the tiniest bit of sugar to mix right in there. And then I have frozen raspberries in here, which I'm adding a little bit of sugar. And then I have some currant jelly, which I'm going to add a little bit of. And then I have some raspberry jam. Let's add some in there as well. And what this is going to make is just a beautiful fresh looking preserve right over our lemon ricotta pancakes that are just going to make it even more delicious than they already are. So we're going to let that go. Let's come back to the recipe. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to sift the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. You can have a mesh strainer, you can have a sifter, it's up to you, whatever you have. And we're going to shake that right in there. Sifting just makes everything a lot lighter and making sure that there's no chunks or big pieces of anything left over. Let's go ahead and combine that. I've got a griddle pan here, a cast iron griddle pan, but if you have a very large non-stick pan, that will work as well. So now to make these lemony, I'll add the zest of a lemon. We're going to do the juice of half a lemon and keep combining. The last thing we'll add to this are the egg whites. And as you know, you don't want to work egg whites too much because we'll lose the fluffiness. So we will fold these in. You just basically fold over, lightening up this batter because it is a little bit dense. This is going to be a nice fluffy pancake. So let's go ahead. I'm going to use a little spray, cooking spray. Rather than using a ladle, I like to use a big old spoon because I always feel like all that batter always gets stuck in my ladle. Let's see how many we can get on here. It's just a beautiful batter. All right, when you come back, hopefully I'll be able to flip these bad boys, and the marmalade will just take about 5 minutes to come together. The lemon maple syrup is ready, so we can jump right into a very fun recipe I bet you haven't tried yet. So come right back. I've got more delicious recipes here on SoFlo Taste. How would you like to win a $500 Goya Seasonings Greetings gift card? Well, of course you would. Well, your chance is waiting for you at local10.com. Just go to local10.com to register. The Goya Seasonings Greetings winner will be chosen on Monday, January 3rd, 2022, so enter today. Just go to local10.com for your chance to win Goya Seasonings Greetings $500 gift card giveaway. Because if it's Goya, it has to be good.
There's still more from the Goya Kitchen at JA World and Michelle.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste in the Goya Kitchen. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. The word brunch, which is a corruption of the words breakfast and lunch, was first used in print way back in 1895. I feel it might just have been a typo. Just think of it, if there had been a spell check back in 1895, we may not have brunch today. No matter, let's get back to brunch. Have you ever heard of a strata? A strata is kind of like a bread pudding with more eggs and less cream. Before I get into all the ingredients, I just wanted to show you my front and center. I have my beautiful lemon ricotta pancakes here, and this is that gorgeous kind of a saucy jam that I made with currants and raspberries. Let's just pour some right over the top. And then right over that, a little maple syrup with lemon, causing a lemony maple syrup and a delicious mess. Now I'm ready for my strata. So in here, I have some gorgeous sausage. It's a pork kielbasa, and this is actually from our friends over at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, as well as our eggs, which are absolutely beautiful. They're located at 4191 State Road 7 in Hollywood. You can go to delawarechicken.com or call them at 954-983-6831 to place an order with them. They are lovely. Tell them I sent you. Chef Michelle says hi, and I love them. They make me happy and they make my food better. So you can make, obviously, a strata with any ingredient that you have around or that you want to pick up. You can use bacon instead of sausage. You can make this vegetarian if you want to. Into this beautifully dirty pan, I'm going to add some minced shallots as well as some leeks. You have to have some kind of onion product going into this. We're going to go ahead and soften these up just a little bit. And then I brought in some chopped kale. I thought it would be fun to have some kind of a green in the strata. And instead of a spinach, which is one of my favorite things, but gets very soft, the kale has a lot more texture to it and fiber. So we're just going to let these soften up a bit. Let's go ahead and mix up the eggs. So strata is usually made with some kind of a good textured bread, like a sourdough. You can use in a sweeter strata, you can get like a good crusty raisin bread. But I thought I had some croissants around my house and I wasn't using them and they got a little bit dry, so I dried them even further, and here we have a good crusty croissant for our strata. In other words, you can pretty much use anything you want. Once you whisk up your eggs, go ahead and add, now this is half and half instead of straight cream or straight milk. And I would season this up right now heavily with salt and pepper to make sure that everything tastes delicious that goes inside of it. I'm also going to add some fresh herbs to our strata. I've got some, we call it a chiffonade, it's a finely, thinly sliced parsley. And I'm going to go ahead and cut up some thyme and some rosemary as well. And when you have a harder herb like this, like the rosemary and thyme, you really want to cut it really fine. All right, go ahead and put those in there. Beautiful. We brought in two types of cheeses for our strata today. We've got aged cheddar as well as Gruyere. Right here, we grated both of them. If you want to buy some grated cheese to make your life a little bit easier, I'm all good with that too. I'm going to add the dried croissant into the egg. I'll add the sausage into there as well. And we can go right in with our sauteed kale, leek, and shallot. Let's go ahead and make sure everything is really well soaked. So just like a bread pudding, the longer you soak it, the better it is, because you really want the bread to start sinking down into the liquid. That way you know that it's all really well soaked. I'm gonna go ahead and add the cheeses, yum, which will obviously melt as it cooks. And we're gonna let this soak a little bit. And when you come back, let's see what it's gonna look like. But before you go, my recipes today and for past shows are all on our SoFlo Shows webpage. Take a shot of this QR code with your phone and you'll be whisked directly to the SoFlo Shows page. It's an easy way for taste buds to stay in touch. Now come right back. SoFlo Taste will return right after this. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste, as we always are. I'm here at the wonderful JA World in Coconut Creek, a great place dedicated to our kids. And there's still time to get your tickets for JA World's Uncorked on Saturday, January 29th. JA World's Uncorked is an Epicurean experience hosted by the JA Circle of Wise Women. Some of the South Florida finest restaurants will be highlighting their creations paired with wine, spirits, and special cocktails. Stroll through JA World's 60,000 square feet, sampling foods from over 35 restaurants and beverage partners. And of course, there will be live music for dancing, raffles, and a silent auction, and more. So again, that's JA World's Uncorked, Saturday, January 29th from 6:30 to 10:30 here in Coconut Creek. For tickets and more information, visit jasouthflorida.org/JA World Uncorked. Now back to the brunch. Check out this beauty. So this is our strata. I almost don't want to cut into it, but I feel like I have to cut into it. You know what I mean? So it's really puffy when it comes out of the oven, and now it's settled just a little bit. I would just use a spoon. It almost looks like a popover, a bunch of popovers together. And it's cheesy and just kind of glorious looking. Ah, that's so exciting. Oh my goodness. All right. So for our last brunch dish, I personally love a little bit of a lighter touch to the table. So I'm going to go ahead and make you my style of Niçoise salad. So instead of doing the traditional anchovy dressing, we're going to swap that out for a honey mustard. Instead of a canned tuna, we're going to sear some beautiful tuna that I've gotten from Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. So let's go ahead and use that same griddle on the other side, which gives you grill marks. Spray it a little bit with some cooking spray and get it good and hot. You always want to season your fish ahead of time before you start grilling it. So I've got a little kosher salt and some fresh cracked black pepper. I love hard-boiled eggs on my Niçoise, but I actually like hard-boiled quail eggs even better. So these are just hard-boiled eggs, cooked for about 3 to 4 minutes, peeled. Delicious. We also have some heirloom grape and cherry tomatoes, and you're probably wondering why I'm holding this plastic. I just wanted to show you a little trick. So you take any kind of this is the top of a quart container, you know those soup containers you get when you get like takeout. So you line up the tomatoes in there and they don't move because obviously it has a little lip on it. And then just close it off with another container right on top. Take your knife and cut as straight through as you can. And there you have tomatoes that are all cut perfectly in half. It's pretty easy, especially when you're cutting about 500 of them like I did yesterday. All right, I'm lowering the temperature now just a little bit because this is smoking. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the tuna steak right on my grill top. I'm gonna spray the top of this tuna just so that it doesn't stick on the other side when I flip it over. Let's go ahead and season both sides. All right, while that's thinking for a minute, let's go ahead and keep going with our salad. So we've got our tomatoes, green beans. So go ahead and blanch your green beans. I would just cook these in some boiling salted water for about 1 minute, 1.5 minutes tops, and then put everything in ice water to stop the cooking process. And I personally like these cut down a little bit as well. So let's cut these in half, like so. All right, so we've got our green beans, we have our tomatoes. Next up, we've got these beautiful little marble potatoes, which have cooked in, again, some salted water. You can actually use the same water over and over. Just, use each vegetable. Obviously, the shorter cooking times first, longer cooking times last. You can first cook the green beans, and then we cooked the potatoes in the same water. These are done, just cut in half. Olives. So this is up for debate. The olive that is usually used on a Niçoise salad is Niçoise olive, obviously. However, I found these beautiful oil-cured olives, which I personally like better. I think they have a creamier, just better, mouthfeel and flavor. You can use what you want. Onions. A lot of times shallots, raw shallots or onions go into a Niçoise. I love pickled onions. I could use these on everything. My recipe for these onions are on that SoFlo Show webpage that we talk about all the time. So go ahead and go to SoFloTaste.com and you will find my recipe for these beautiful pickled onions. It's super simple. You just cut up some shallot or onion, heat up a little bit of your favorite vinegar, sugar, and salt, and pour it over. Not a big deal. Tuna steaks are ready. Let's go ahead and take them off. All right, before I start building anything, the last thing we should do is our vinaigrette. So I'm going to show you my favorite vinaigrette for this salad. And I didn't talk about lettuce. Kind of up to you. We're using butter lettuce today because it's soft and delicate and beautiful. And we have a bunch of crunchy things going on here. So I thought that would really be our best lettuce for today. So let's make a honey mustard vinaigrette. Let's start out with some fresh squeezed lemon juice, because if you're going to bother cooking, you have to squeeze your own citrus, everybody. All right, so we're going to use the juice of 1 lemon, a little Dijon mustard, not too much because then it'll only taste like mustard. Next is some honey. I try not to use a very dark honey when I'm making vinaigrettes with honey. This one is clover. I think they usually are clover honey in the Bears. So I think that works really well for this. Next, we're going to chop some herbs. We have rosemary and thyme for the herbs. And the reason why we use these herbs are mainly because that's what grows in the south of France. All right, so some chopped thyme and rosemary go right into this vinaigrette. Never forget salt, a little pepper. All right, I'm gonna whisk in a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna slice our tuna, and let's build this together when you come back, and let's see what it looks like. So I'll see you in about 1.5 minutes. Yeah, sound good? Okay, 2, got it. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste and of course our brunch episode. So I've made my beautiful honey and mustard and fresh herb vinaigrette. Let's go ahead and put some on our potatoes, green beans, tomatoes, and butter lettuce. I'm gonna add some fresh dill to this for the freshness of it. And just mix it up ever so lightly. Not really like a regular mixed salad would be. And let's place some down here on the plate, somewhat organically yet strategically, so that you can really see all of the beautiful ingredients that go into this. Spreading everything out. Then let's place our tuna down. We have this gorgeous seared tuna. And then we have some black olives. Like I told you, I brought today some oil cured olives, some hard boiled quail eggs, and then our pickled onion or shallot finishes the whole thing off. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and spoon a little of our dressing right over the fish. And what a beautiful finish to our brunch today. Thank you, Taste Buds, for watching. I love making brunch for you. And after a big night last night, this may be the closest thing you get to food this morning. For the rest of you, try these recipes for brunch or any time and any meal of the day. They are delicious. Next week, are you confused about being gluten-free? Well, if you are, I'm here to give you answers. And if you're a gluten-free or wannabe, I'm here to give you recipes. No matter which category you fall into, join me as I celebrate National Gluten-Free Day next time on SoFlo Taste. So my taste buds, please be smart, be safe, and be vaccinated. I'll see you next week, and all the best for 2022. Goodbye, mwah, and good taste. Let's do brunch.